But what I've noticed in my experience is a sprint goes up and down periodically. Around this time of the year, it goes up because everybody getting their tax return, they're buying new phones and things of that nature. It goes down within 90 to 120 days, and it goes right back up around Christmas
Everybody,
time.
yeah.
So invest in these companies, man. Stop paying attention to this stuff. Listen to a guy like Dr. Boyce Watkins and others who are more educated than I am, because I'm just giving you my experience, but they have educated themselves in regards to this, and they'll be able to help you. But these are streams of income that everybody should follow if you're trying to enhance their lives via them. Uh,
Most definitely.
Another thing is,
Hey, is Newport stock? Do they go up around tax time too? So do they get stock?
Newport.
Newport.
You know what? I never. That's the R.J. Reynolds company. I've never looked into it, but I'm sure it does. But you know what? Their stock is never down. People love to poison themselves. People in America love to poison themselves and say it's cool. So that's. You mentioned when we were setting up the show. You mentioned you want to talk about the violence in our community and especially our city. Talk to me.
Jackie. Yeah, man. Especially in I don't know if you guys. I mean, how many of the listeners is from Chicago? I'm quite sure a lot of them is from, but I get an alert. It's like a news alert every time it's like a crime that happens, and I stay in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, so of course, unfortunately, they don't really report their crimes. Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second.
And again, y'all, this is Go for This Network. This is HRap B. Thank you guys for tuning in. This segment is called Rapping with HRap, where I have a different guest on a weekly basis. Every week I have a different guest. Next week I have Coach Carter. This week I have my main man, Big Illinois. Oh, yeah, finish what you were saying, bro.
Yeah, my bad. So naturally, they don't really report their crime, but they do report the so-called black-on-black crime. But there is an uptick in a lot of shootings that's going on, especially in this Inglewood area, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know if oh man, I'm on the phone with that. And I don't know if we maybe need to get with these aldermen or something, because something needs to be done, man. I mean, you see when those kids shot that I think it was like a 9-year-old around Halloween. They found those people within the next like 3 or 4 days, and dude back was turned. But you got people. It's a lady was sitting in her car. A cat walked up to her and shot her in the head, and nobody knew nothing. I mean, do we need to put pressure on these aldermen to put pressure on the police? I mean, I don't know what we need to do, because it's getting out of hand. It's not even hot outside, and all this crime is going on, man.
See, the thing is, okay, my answer to that is a resounding damn. I don't know, man. The reason I don't know and I don't have an idea is this: do we really want these race soldiers in our community? Do we really want these people in our community on a regular basis? That's the question I have. The little boy or girl, did he put him in timeout? Oh, yeah, because you just put the baby in timeout. And as Chief Rocket said, just put the baby in timeout. The thing is, we don't know if we want these people in our communities like that. And see, I'm a conspiracy theorist by nature. You know, both my parents were revolutionaries. So when I hear about these random criminal acts like that, I always, a light goes off in my head, bro. And I'm like, hold on. Where's this coming from? How did these, how is it that nobody knows about this besides the people who are directly affected by it? This is something that needs to be talked about nationally, citywide, community-wide, citywide, nationwide, because one thing I do know about criminals is they don't want the heat, they don't want the smoke of people, the news all in their business. Because when the news get involved, the police get involved. When the police get involved, they go to jail. So this is why I always question these just random acts of violence in specific communities, because they are creating a narrative that these people are inherently violent. And that's why I question the involvement of the police and the so-called police presence, because are they creating these situations? Because both of us from the same neighborhood, we come from a high crime area. And one thing I noticed, like when we were younger, and even to this day, the streets talk. The streets talk. So why ain't nobody in the streets knowing about this? These are just random acts of violence that no gang, no street people, nobody know anything about. And I listened to Alex Alonso from Street Gangs TV out of Los Angeles, and he has documented several occasions in which Crips and Bloods have witnessed police shooting at people in the name of Crips and Bloods. So when you have people like that, Alex Alonso is a brother from our community, he just lives in Los Angeles, you have to question these things. And we can be called conspiracy theorists, we can be called whatever y'all want to call us, but you're not going to call us no damn fools, because some of this stuff is not right. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I see what you mean, because if you drive down Inglewood,
mm-hmm.
you'd be like, oh, this neighborhood ain't that bad. But you know what? You never see though.
Exactly.
You never see a police car, dude.
You never see the police. You never see anything. But all these random acts of violence, man. And it's amazing to me, as much as the streets talk. Like when you watch that video, it's a documentary. I'm assuming we've all watched it at this point. Who killed Malcolm X? This is something that happened in 1966, 65. And everybody in that community knew exactly what was going on. And that's why I say, the streets talk. It's hard to keep a secret in the streets. And these random acts of violence, somebody knows, if it was a street level person, or if there was a member of the community that was just a rogue individual, people know these things. My cousin was murdered in the city of Milwaukee in 2016. There's people who have walked up to me and basically told me what happened. They weren't there. So why is it that nobody can tell you what's about these random acts of violence in Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, DC, and so forth and so on? We all watched First 48. Why nobody ever knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's just
and they even had an informant in. I mean, this is different, but it is actually kind of coincide with a lot of it. They even had an informant in Nipsey Hussle hood, and they knew who the informant was. So you mean to tell me that ain't none of that stuff going on in Chicago?
Exactly.
So they so backlogged on crime, and they altering the crime statistics. So every time the first of the month come, crime was down 20% from last year. And I'm like, dude, I can't tell, because you just I'm seeing in the newspaper, the neighborhood newspaper, how all these people getting shot that y'all not even reporting on the news no more.
It's strange.
I mean, it's an issue in the city of Chicago, and as I understand, by looking at Twitter or going on like different news sites, like certain like news websites, it's happening in a lot of cities. It's just not being talked about. So it's an issue, man. That's a topic we can talk about for hours, man. But do you think they can do anything as far as the guns that's on the street?
Okay, what I'm going to say, it's not a popular point of view, and I encourage pushback. And I want, if you disagree, pushback. Violence is one of those things. Violence begets violence, but violence also creates a wall of fear. Unnecessary and random acts of violence are enacted, in my personal opinion, by people who are terrorists, so to speak. And you only run up on people if you think you can win. You know, you don't snatch a lady's purse if you think she got a Glock in her pocket and to knock your ass down with it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If everybody empowers themselves with a weapon, it'll be a lot less violent. It'll get real bad, beginning to clear up. The second way to ease up a lot of this violence is what I've said on Brothers Gonna Work It Out. And I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow as well. I think people, poor people or working class people, need to re-engage. And what I mean by re-engaging is we need to know everybody on our block. You need to know like me and you grew up on the 1400 block of Sedgwick. We knew everybody in the 1300 block and we knew everybody in the 1500 block. We no longer do that. And because we don't know each other, random acts of violence will continue to occur because you can plant a stranger in there and he can hurt somebody like they did with the Malcolm X situation. You can implant somebody or you can have an agent creating chaos and then it continues to go on. Well, before you answer, Jungle Brother has a comment. CIA, FBI agents in every police department, their job is to disable the black community, maintaining slums and infesting them with drugs and guns and alcohol, denying small business loans for minorities to own their own grocery stores, hardware stores, and to sell you tools to build your own houses. I totally agree with Jungle Brother, and that's why we need to do what you said, engage with these people in office. I know me and Jungle Brother had a big time argument about 6 months ago about me not voting. I know he's gonna be glad to know I'm registered to vote now. Big ups to Jungle Brother to press me like that. Man love. But if we start getting to know, like if Jungle Brother knows Big Illinois knows Cheese Rocker knows HRap knows 334 Battle Boy knows Knox knows so forth and so on. If you know everybody on your side of the street and across the street in both directions, 1400 and 1300, and we live 1400, 1500, and 1300, you can cut down on crime with that alone. But we don't engage anymore. We take our ass to work and we come home and we walk past each other like we strangers, and then we're shocked that some stranger has come into our community and hurt us. I'm listening.
Yeah. And we can put pressure on them, man. Hey, I want my kids to be able to go outside. I mean, why is it that if I go downtown by the House of Blues and I'm getting pulled over, or it's a police presence? Why is it so much of a police presence in what they call that, Boys Town or whatever?
Boys Town, the West Loop, the River Walk, the Loop, the Magnificent Mile, our old neighborhood, Lincoln Park, Old Town. But you go to Inglewood, you go to West Side, all they doing is handing out parking tickets.
Yeah, you see them on bikes. You see them patrolling, but you go in Inglewood, you don't see none of that. You go in Roseland, you don't see none of that, man. It's ridiculous, man.
But what we have to do is, as I say all the time on Brothers Gonna Work It Out, and maybe me and Chief Rocker will continue this conversation tomorrow on Brothers Gonna Work It Out. What we have to do is continue to engage with each other. It's a damn shame that we don't think about it, bro. How many people you know on your block by their first name? Hey, George. Hey, John. Hey, Deborah. And the people who listen, how many people y'all know on y'all block? We don't. We need to create block clubs. We need to create community events. Remember, everybody